Hi everybody, it's me Vance. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for watching another one of my Vance vlogs. Now, this Vance vlog is going to be quite different than the previous Vance vlogs that I've recorded in recent weeks. This Vance vlog is going to be a bit more personal. In this particular vlog, I'm going to be talking about the kind of girls that I'm interested in. So basically, the kind of girl that I would like to go on a date with, the kind of girl that I would like to be in a relationship with, and when the time is right in the near future, the kind of girl that I would like to get married to. So with that being said, let's just dive right into it. So, what kind of girl am I looking for? Who is the perfect woman for me? Where do I begin? Well, for one thing, she definitely has to be older than me. Yes, I like older women, what most of us refer to as cougars. Now, I just want to say that, I don't have a problem with younger women, and especially people who are in relationships with younger women. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if that's what you're interested in, that's fine. Just make sure that, she's 18 or older. Don't date anyone who's a minor, because you just don't want to deal with Chris Hansen on Hansen versus Predator. I don't know if that show is still on the air. I know it's on YouTube, but if they're still playing it on TV, I don't think so. So anyway, like I said, I have nothing against younger women, and I have nothing against older men who are in relationships with younger women. It's just that for me personally, it's not my cup of tea. In other words, it's just not my thing. I prefer older women. Now I know that the next few questions that you guys are probably going to ask me is, why do you want an older woman, and how much older? I'll start with the first question. Why do I want an older woman? I think deep down, each and every man in the world, I think we all like older women. Women who are more mature. At some point in a guy's life, he's always been fascinated by older women. And I'm no different. I think, when I look back on my life, and especially when I think about my childhood crushes, my celebrity crushes, like Scary Spice, Mel B of the Spice Girls, or Britney Spears, or Beyonce Knowles, or TLC, whoever, I think I've always been attracted to women who are older than I am. But it wouldn't be until 2009 when I would start to seriously think about the possibility of me wanting to be in a relationship with an older woman. What happened was that I was looking at People magazine and I saw the story of Nick Cannon getting married to Mariah Carey. I don't remember exactly what the age difference is between them, the age gap. I don't remember if it's a 14-year age difference or a 15-year age difference or a 16-year age difference. I don't know. But all I know is that, I just remember looking at the picture of them hugging each other and smiling for the camera and just looking at Mariah Carey, seeing that, she is older than Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon was in his 20s, she was in her 30s, and just looking at how stunning Mariah Carey looked. I mean, absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. And that Nick Cannon was able to fall in love with her, she was able to fall in love with him, and they got married after a few months of dating. And I just thought to myself, something? If Nick Cannon can have an older woman as his wife, and especially one who is gorgeous, why can't I? Why can't I have an older woman as a girlfriend and potential wife? So it was back in 2009 when I really started to think about, me wanting to be in a relationship with an older woman. So the next question is, how much older? I would say she has to be somewhere in between 6 months to about 20 years. 6 months older than I am to 20 years older than I am. I don't want to date anyone who is much older than that because, like I said, I still want to be in a relationship with someone who, regardless of how old they are, they still look much younger than they really are. They look young for their age. Like me, for example. I'm 30 years old now, and every now and then I'll bring this fact up with someone, like when I'm at work, when we're having conversations, I'll bring up the fact that I'm 30 years old. And they always say, really? You're 30 years old? You look like you're in your 20s, which is very flattering. it's always very flattering. And even when I was in my late 20s, people would say that I looked like I'm more like 21 years old or 22 years old or even 25 years old. When the reality was that at that particular time, I was probably 28 years old. So much older than I looked. So I usually don't think about, how old I look because I'm more focused on the fact that I am the age that I am. I'm 30 years old. So I don't think about how young I look. I think about how old I really am. That's the kind of woman that I would want to be in a relationship with, is someone who, let me give you an example. I have a friend on Facebook. She's in her 30s, her mid to late 30s. And when you look at pictures of her on Facebook, she looks like she's in her 20s. That's the kind of girl that I would like to be in a relationship with. Not this friend that I'm talking about, because she's married and she has a son now. So she's got her own family, so she's obviously out. What I'm saying is that, this woman that I'm talking about, she could be like maybe 37 years old. But she looks like she's 28. She looks like she's still young. I would hope that that's the kind of woman that I would find myself in a relationship with. I saw a YouTube video where there was this guy who was in a relationship with an older woman, but she looks like someone who came out of a retirement home, a grandma, an old lady. And like I said, I have nothing against people and the kind of relationships that they want to be in, as long as it's legal and it's moral, ethical. But, why? Why would you want to be in a relationship with someone who looks like she could actually be your grandmother or a friend of your grandmother? So, I want someone who's older than me, but not that old. I don't want our first date to be in a retirement home, if that makes any sense. So that's one thing. The fact that I want her to be older than me, that's one thing. But it's more than just, the age, she's got to have a wonderful personality, She's got to be someone who, I can talk to, I can be open and honest about anything, because this is the person that you're spending the rest of your life with. And when it comes to the person that you're spending the rest of your life with, this is someone that you've got to trust. It's just like Robert De Niro's character in the mafia movie Casino said in the beginning of the film. When you love someone, you've got to trust them. There's no other way. You've got to give them the key to everything that is yours. Otherwise, what's the point? I know that there are relationships where husbands don't trust their wives, and I think at the same time, wives don't trust their husbands. And I just wonder, well, then what's the point in being in a relationship with someone, especially an intimate, personal relationship, if you can't even trust each other? And you can't even share certain secrets. Why did you get married in the first place? That's the kind of relationship that I would want to have with my significant other. I want to be able to talk to her about anything. Kind of like what Chris Perez said to Selena in the movie Selena, where Jennifer Lopez played the iconic Selena. There's that scene where he confesses his love for her, and what he says is that she is the best friend that he has ever had, and the reason is because he can talk to her about anything, and she always understands him. That's the kind of relationship that I would want with my significant other, And to go with that personality, she's got to be loving, kind, sweet, compassionate, understanding. She cannot be a domineering person. She cannot be a dominant person. And what I mean by that is, for those of you who are fans of blue-collar comedy like I am, you know, you're fans of Jeff Foxworthy and Bill Engvall, when you watch their comedy skits, they always do family comedy. You know, they're always talking about their experiences with their family and talking about their experiences in certain ways to where it's very humorous that makes the audience laugh. Or someone like me who has their DVDs and watches their DVDs from the comfort of my own home. And they always talk about their relationships with their wives. And one of the things that they always talk about is how their wives pretty much rule them. This is pretty much my way of explaining what I have seen and heard in the comedy skits. You know, especially when they talk about how when they dress up, you know, in their outfits, and the first thing that their wives say is, "You're not wearing that, are you?" You know something? I pretty much grew up in a pretty domineering family my entire life. And, you know, everyone was an authority figure and constantly being unreasonable when they give their orders to me. And it's just like, why would I want to live with that for the rest of my life when I have my own place to live, and especially when I'm in a relationship with someone that I consider to be wonderful? Why would I want to deal with that for the rest of my life? You know, constantly being told what to do, how to do it, and that if I don't do it, I'll suffer consequences. In which, worst case scenario, it would be either a life of celibacy for a couple of months, or maybe even a divorce. I personally think that if your wife is the kind of person who's going to give you ultimatums like that, you know, where you have to do things the way she wants you to do them, or she's out the door, just let her leave. She's not worth it. So that's the thing, you know, as far as my significant other is concerned, you know, I want her to be independent. I want her to do what she wants to do with her life. I want her to live her life how she chooses to live her life. I want her to be independent, but I don't want her to be dominating. I won't deal with someone who is a domineering person. That's just not for me. And to go with that, what I said earlier about, you know, wanting her to do what she wants to do and she lives her life the way she wants to live her life, that pretty much brings up another topic when it comes to the kind of woman that I want to be in a relationship with. And especially if this is like the person that I want to get married to. I would hope that we would have the same views, like the same religious views, the same spiritual views, which are almost the same thing, and political views. You know, like for example, I'm a Republican. Believe it or not, as young as I am indeed a Republican. I do have conservative values, and with my the reason why I am a Republican is because I believe in limited government power, I believe in lower taxes, I believe in family values, and I believe in certain religious values that actually have a positive influence on our country and society as a whole. I believe in freedom of religion, but not freedom from religion. I believe that everybody should worship God the way how he or she feels in their hearts they should. Not how a church hierarchy says they should do it, not the way how a televangelist says that they should do it, but how God himself speaks to them through their hearts, through their consciences, how they should worship him. So, with that being said, I would hope that she has the same political views as I do, and especially when it comes to the kind of people that we support who run for the office of president, who runs for the office of senator, who represents us in Washington, D.C., who is the governor of Florida, and who is the mayor of the county or city that we live in. And when it comes to religious and spiritual views, I would hope that she is a Christian just like me. I honestly don't care if she's Catholic or Protestant, or if she comes from the Eastern Orthodox Church, or if she comes from a non-denominational church. I honestly don't care, as long as she has the same beliefs that I have in regards to my Christian faith, as it's spelled out in both the Apostles' Creed and the Nicene Creed. As a traditional mainstream Christian, I believe in the beliefs that have been accepted by the church for 2,000 years, stated in both the Apostles' Creed and the Nicene Creed. I think it's important that we both share the same beliefs and values when it comes to our religion and our political views, because I have a feeling that, if we don't, we may embrace diversity, but there may be times when it might cause some heartache between the two of us, Like, let's say, for example, I got married to a Muslim woman, which is really not a realistic thing because, from what I know about what I know about Muslim beliefs is that Muslim men are allowed to get married to any woman they want to get married to, whether if it's a Muslim woman or if it's a Christian woman or if it's a Jewish woman, whoever. But a Muslim woman can't get married to anyone who is not a Muslim. So that may not be a realistic idea. But let's just say, for the sake of the argument, let's say it did happen, that I, a Christian, got married to a Muslim woman. I'm sure that the one thing she would really want is that I would go to mosque with her. Whereas me, I would want her to go to church with me. And we both go our separate ways religiously. I go to church, and especially since I'm studying to become a pastor, I'm going to be pastoring a church. So I go to church, she goes to mosque. I'm pretty sure that, we will have those moments where we're just thinking, I wish my husband was here with me, or I wish my wife was here with me. Because we could be looking out in our congregations and we see beautiful married couples with each other, and we're by ourselves. There's a possibility we may have arguments in our own house about, I believe Jesus is the Son of God, and also God the Son, the second person of the Holy Trinity. She doesn't hold those views. Muslims don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God, not in the same way that we Christians do, and she'll totally deny the Trinity. It just could lead to heart-wrenching arguments. And not just religious values, but political values just as well. Because, like I said, let's say, for the sake of the argument, my wife is a Democrat and I'm a Republican. We could be arguing back and forth, about my conservative values and her more progressive liberal values. I don't think I need to explain any further. I think you guys get the point. You get the point. It's a better idea to be married to someone who has the same religious values and political values that I have. So that way we can spare each other the arguments, the heartbreaks, and living in a home that is divided. Because I do believe in unity. So. I think the last thing I would want to say is that, she has to be faithful to me. She's got to be the one guy, one girl type of a person. She's got to be the kind of person who believes in monogamy. She's got to be the kind of person who believes that, you've chosen this person to be in a relationship with. You've got to be devoted to this person for the rest of your life, if that's what you choose. You can't just go around having sex with everybody in the world, You can't go around being intimate and romantic with people, because think about this, how would you feel if your husband was doing that? You wouldn't like it. You would feel unloved. You would feel like you're not special to him, and you always thought you were. I would feel the same way if I had a wife who was constantly going around, running around on me and going out with everyone that she knew, that she met. it would hurt me. It would make me feel like she really doesn't love me and she really doesn't care about me. So that's another thing, is that she's got to be faithful. And with all that being said, aside from the fact that I would want her to be older than me, the number one thing that she has got to do is that she's got to love me for me. She has to accept the fact that I am a human being who has flaws. I make mistakes. You know, I may do things that she doesn't like, you know, not to hurt her intentionally, but it's just, that's my nature as a human being. She's got to accept me for who I am and what I am. She's got to love me for me. And I think I pretty much just laid everything out in the video, you know. For me, that's the kind of woman that I would want to be in a relationship with. The kind of girl that I would want to go out with. The kind of woman who, when all is said and done, when the time is right, I walk down the aisle with her. So that's the end of this vlog. The one thing that I want to say at the end of this vlog is, I don't know if you guys have questions that you would like to ask me that you would like me to address in future vlogs. So what I encourage you to do is, please leave your questions in the comment section below, and, you know, try and ask me the questions you... Try and get the comment section filled. Let it be full of questions. Let it be full of questions. You know what I mean? You know, ask me the questions that you want to ask me, and I will try and do that in a future vlog. It'll be like a Q&A video. I'm open to do that. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed day. Peace out, yo.